Look, the internet is buzzing about a first One UI 8.5 beta build popping up on Samsung's test servers. And yes, firmware tags like S938NKSU7ZYKP, S938NOKR7ZYKP, and S938NKSU7CYKP were spotted by tipster Tarun Vats. That's interesting. But before we take this as proof that a public beta is dropping any minute, let's take a breath. Test server sightings mean internal validation is happening. They do not guarantee a locked launch date, a feature list, or even a December release window. If you're about to mark your calendar, here's why you should hold off and what actually matters next. First, timing. The rumor mill says One UI 8.5 beta was supposed to arrive in November, but got pushed back due to changes in the Galaxy S26 lineup, and now it's back on track for December. That's a clean headline, not a confirmation. Samsung's software cadence can shift for a dozen reasons: regional certification, MOD, EM firmware alignment, carrier requirements, or QA blockers that surface late. Internal builds can live on servers for weeks before they go anywhere near users. So yes, a December beta is possible, especially in South Korea first. But it could just as easily slip into January if the stability story isn't there. Until Samsung posts a banner inside the Samsung Members app, it's not real. Second, what those build tags mean and don't when you see multi-region firmware strings with a Z in them. That's typically a sign of pre-release or internal testing. It tells us Samsung is preparing something for the Galaxy S series, likely the S25 family, because those devices tend to pilot new One UI versions before the next flagship arrives. But tag formats don't reveal features, device eligibility outside the test group, or rollout order. Reading deep meaning into letters and suffixes is how fake expectations go viral. Third, the S26 angle. You'll hear that One UI 8.5 will ship natively with the Galaxy S26 series next year, and that's mostly sensible. Every S launch debuts a refined One UI branch. But the idea that S26 lineup changes delayed the beta is speculation, not source fact. Lineup changes can mean anything from storage SKUs and camera bins to regional modem swaps. That's not a smoking gun for software delays, especially when Samsung often runs hardware and software trains in parallel. Now, if the One UI 8.5 beta does open soon, what should you expect? Think polish over gimmicks. A 0.5 release rarely overhauls the UI. It usually tightens animations, touch latency, and transitions, refines battery management and thermal behavior, tweaks camera processing, and expands quality of life features. You might see smarter AI summaries, upgraded transcription, or more consistent on-device AI behavior, better integration with Samsung Notes, Gallery, and Good Lock modules, subtle lock screen and quick settings refinements, more flexible multitasking gestures, and incremental DeX improvements. But don't let leaks sell you a dream list of features that may never land. Until changelogs hit, everything is a maybe. Who gets in first? Historically, South Korea is the opening market, with expansion to the US, Germany, India, and the UK once early bugs are ironed out. The S25 lineup is a strong candidate for first access because Samsung uses current flagships to validate next-gen software before a new S series arrives. Could other recent flagships and foldables join later? Possibly. But eligibility waves are staggered, regional, and messy. If your device isn't in Wave 1, that's not a snub. It's how Samsung de-risks a beta. If you're thinking of jumping into the One UI 8.5 beta the moment it appears, be clear about the trade-offs. Betas break things. Expect battery drain, camera oddities, random app crashes, connectivity quirks, and good lock modules that misbehave until they get patched. Some banking and DRM-reliant apps may refuse to run. If your phone is your only phone, don't treat a beta like a free early upgrade. Back up everything. Read the fine print in Samsung Members. And be ready to roll back. If you hit a show dash stopper dot, how will you know it's actually live? You won't learn it from a screenshot of a firmware tag. You'll see a banner inside the Samsung Members app inviting you to enroll. You'll accept terms. You'll get an OTA after a short wait. That's the only flow that matters. Everything else is noise. Let's also talk expectations. If One UI 8.5 lands in December, don't expect a flawless day one experience. The first build will prioritize data collection and stability baselining. Real improvements come across subsequent beta drops, where Samsung tunes power management, squashes memory leaks, and corrects camera and modem edge cases. If you only care about a smooth phone, wait for the later betas, or better yet, the stable release that should align with or follow the Galaxy S26 launch window. That's when features are locked, bugs are fewer, and carrier versions start catching up. So, what should you watch instead of chasing every leak? Watch for Samsung Members banners in Korea, not just social posts. Watch for multiple consecutive builds appearing on test servers, not a single tag spike. Watch for good luck updates when modules begin listing compatibility for a new One UI branch. You're nearing public rollout. And watch for carrier beta threads in your region. They often telegraph timelines more accurately than anonymous insider accounts. Bottom line, yes, One UI 8.5 is real. And yes, Samsung is clearly testing it. But a test server citing isn't a release date, a feature promise, or a guarantee of a December beta. If you're excited, stay ready. Back up your device. Ensure your Samsung account region matches past beta availability. Keep an eye on the Samsung Members app and temper your expectations. The best beta is the one that ships to your phone, not the one that trends on X for a day.